So, you want to be a filmmaker. Go for it, my friend. Now, you might be wondering how to get started, right? Well, in his book, Rebel Without a Crew, Robert Rodriguez advises that the first step is to stop saying, I want to be a filmmaker, and start saying, I am a filmmaker. And that's good advice. Of course, you still need to make those films that people will eventually say are your early works, just starting out. That's okay. That's how we learn. The first steps down the path. And that is why we want to share with you Manuel Crosby's short film, The Lamp. Now, Manuel isn't from some big producing town like LA. He's originally from a small town, Valley Springs in Calaveras County, California. And since graduating from film school in 2014, Manuel has worked on many films and has accumulated credits as a cinematographer, editor, director, writer, and producer. But The Lamp is one of his early works. In fact, he made it while still in film school. We think it is a wonderful example of how an innovative young filmmaker, working without a crew, can create a compelling short film in what we call microbudget filmmaking, which is a fancy way of saying, I ain't got no money. Does that sound familiar? We invite you to watch The Lamp and continue watching at the end as Manuel shares with us some of his experiences making this short film early in his career. Enjoy.
Jerry, can you please stop typing and turn the light off? I have to work at 4 a.m.
What was that? Hannah, this draft, this is the one.
Yeah, well, so was the last one and the one before that.
Damn it. Don't look at me. You left it on.
What?
I turned the lamp off when I got in bed. Now it's on. So, yeah.
What am I even doing here? I'm going to Sarah's.
What? No. Oh, okay, you didn't see the lamp. The lamp, it turned itself on. No, wait, Hannah. No, Hannah. No, Hannah, come on.
It was just a fun shoot, you know, making something with friends, and it was just this goofy story idea that didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but we just kind of enjoyed it. I was really into making short films, so I wrote this script for this thing. My friend Ryan, you know, really wanted to be in something, and so did Grace. So I showed up at their apartment in Burbank, but since it was just me, I didn't have any crew. So I just had the onboard microphone that was on top of the camera. Since I was using lens stabilization, the lens itself was like making a lot of noise, like the motor inside of it when the camera would move. But then also, you know, the sound just, I wasn't really thinking about sound anyway, since I couldn't hear it while I was shooting. I just figured there's not a whole lot of talking in this movie. I'll just add all the sound in later. And, you know, I thought, well, also this is a cinematography class exercise. This isn't supposed to be like, you know, a finished film. Then when we shot it, and I really was like, liking how it turned out, I thought, well, I can just, it was one of those things. I remember I was up really late at night. It was finals time, so everyone was staying up studying in the school library, and I was editing and just getting really into the minutia of like editing all the little sound effects. And once something about filmmaking, once I get down that rabbit hole, I can't really get out until I get to the other side. So I just thought I'll just like replace all the sound. I ended up going back to their Ryan and Grace's apartment when the movie was done with my laptop with the movie on it, and I had a, you know, I don't actually remember if I had a real microphone or if I just had the microphone, the onboard camera microphone, holding it next to them. It probably was that, actually, now that I say it, because I don't think I had any other sound equipment. But it was like a little Rode video mic, like the little onboard shotgun microphone that sits on top of the camera. So I'm pretty sure what we did is they would watch the scene, and then I turned the lens stabilization off, right, so that wasn't making any more noise. Now I could put the microphone right next to their face. We just had them do it, you know, run through their very few lines that they had again and again to get a bunch of different options, and then I would cut together the one that matched the best. Everything you hear in that movie is added in.
Damn it. Don't look at me. You left it on.
What?
I turned the lamp off when I got in bed. Now it's on. So, yeah.
What am I even doing here?
Well, actually, in terms of lighting, you have one right there, that clamp light. That's actually the, can I bring that over here?
Sure.
This is the type of light that, here, let's bring the stand. I actually didn't have a stand, so this was an upgrade to what I had. This right here is the type of light. I had like 2 or 3 of these. This is what I lit that movie with. And for the moonlight, we had the daylight color temperature, like fluorescent CFL bulbs they put in there. So I put that in to make some moonlight, and I would use like aluminum foil to shape it. I would just clothespin some sheets of aluminum foil to the front of this. And then, you know, the lamp itself is a source of light, right? But what we did, we had to make it brighter. We had to put a brighter bulb in than what it actually would handle, because that fixture, that lamp wasn't supposed to have more than like a 60-watt bulb in it or something. But I had one of these that could take up to, it had a more heavy-duty socket that could take up to 200 or 300 watts, I think. So I actually put, there's a shot where, I believe there's a shot where the lamp is like, it's kind of an over the shoulder of the lamp. So the camera's like behind the lamp and it's shining directly at the main character. For that, I'm pretty sure we blocked the light coming out of the lamp itself, because in the back it had these little, you could see if it was on from the back, you could see like it was kind of glowing. So we wanted it to look like that was shining all the light. But then just below the lamp, we actually had one of these that had a 300-watt bulb in it. And then we connected both to the same power strip. So when the character of Jerry, played by Ryan, gets up, walks over to the lamp and turns it off, he reached his hand out, and right as he turned the power, he clicked the power strip, so the light that was lighting the scene turned off at the same time. And then the sound effect, I don't even know if he actually turned the thing, but I just put in the click, right? That click that keeps happening every time the lamp turns on, I added that in. And I forgot all about that until just now, but he was really good with the timing of that, and it just helped. The reason we did it went to all that trouble was A, so we could have enough light to see the scene, because the camera I was using, the Canon 60D, was not as light sensitive as they are today. And we wanted to make sure we were shooting at a low enough ISO to make the camera, this lower quality camera, look as clean as possible. But then also to avoid having 2 shadows and ruining the illusion that the light was all coming from the lamp. So it's all, you know, it's all like little ways to create the illusion, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. The staples of my kit for many years were these lights, and yeah, poster board or foam core from Walmart. And then if I needed diffusion on the lens, I would use a netted stocking held on with a rubber band. And I got a lot of mileage out of those techniques for years and years, and and the principles still apply. I still use them, you know, to this day. We use these lights on First Date at times, and even on the latest movie I've been working on, The Outlaws of Mendocino. There may have been a time or two where we needed a warm, fire-colored thing, and that was just the thing. Mostly now everything's LED, but it's the great thing about light, as you guys know, it's, you know, like, illumination itself doesn't have to be the most, it comes in many forms, right? It comes in many packages, some expensive, some cheap. But if you know the principles of the physics of light, really, and how to manipulate it, then you can create the illusion of many different things on on screen without having, you know, $100,000 truck full of movie lights. So I always really have believed in that. So going back to the lamp, the idea is not that complicated. It's kind of silly, maybe, you know, arguably kind of stupid, but I think the thing I liked about the story, not only that it was like funny, was there was, you know, there was a meaning to the character's struggle. It was relatable to me at the time, you know, and still is, like trying to succeed at something that you love to do, and you're just having, you know, you just can't seem to break through, and what are the ways that your singular focus on something might affect the people around you.
Jerry, can you please stop typing and turn the light off? I have to work at 4 a.m.
What was that?
You know, a simple story, but that's like relatable to many people, you know, regardless of whether there's like magical lamps involved or not. So I think that the key for new filmmakers to remember is, you know, when they're making their simple or crazy movie idea, if there's something true at the center of it, then that will allow many people to really connect with it. And I'm not saying that the lamp is like some kind of masterpiece, but I think it just, at least I'll speak for myself, it still, you know, I connect with it because there's like there's something there underneath, I guess. There's a human element to it, and everybody can put that into anything that they do. You know, all you have to do that is live life a little bit, and just speak from the heart, I guess. So no matter how crazy or silly the story is, there's always a place for that.